beautiful souls. I'm here today to share an experience I had a couple of days ago when I was working with someone. And my intention was to do some clearing around what it was they brought forward. And it ended up being, before the clearing started, the Elohim came in very strong. I wasn't inviting them to come in or expecting them, but they dropped in and wanted to offer a message. And then what came through the Elohim was so powerful that I really felt like I wanted to share it with everyone, because it feels like an upgrade in our mastery. It is an upgrade from clearing things to a different approach. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened and what brought this all on. And this video may be a bit choppy because I tried explaining this. This is the second time to do the second part of the video, because halfway through I realized that, oh yes, now I'm getting it and remembering it and dropping into explaining it better. So now I need to do the introduction again. So if it seems a little choppy, that's why. So what this person was working with was, she has items that she's received from her father that when she looks at them, they actually make her feel uncomfortable. So in one way, they make her feel unworthy, and yet at the same time, she also felt like she deserved to have them. And so she was really curious about that and wanting to shift this experience of always feeling something that made her feel uncomfortable about these items that were given to her. And so we're working on clearing that, and instead of doing a freedom release clearing the way I usually do, the Elohim came in, and the whole thing started with a channeling, and they introduced themselves as the Elohim, and they said that they are here to commend her and I for who we are, and then wanted to address what she was bringing forward. And what they said was, you have the ability to change the energy of anything you receive. So basically what they were saying was, instead of having to sort of clear what that is within her, that why she received it, or what the feelings are connected to her dad that kind of lead to that guilt that she feels, whatever that was, they were saying just change the energy of the item. I just wanted to share this today, because when people say things that hurt us, we can actually change the energy of that statement, and we can receive it with love. We can decide that regardless of the intention that that word was said with, we can receive it as love. We can just say, what you just said to me, I receive it as pure love, because I know that I deserve love in every moment. And just shift it that easily. It's like we are the masters of our experience, and we choose what it is that we are going to allow to be our creation. And our thoughts, our response to things, is our creation. So regardless of what somebody else does, the way we receive it is our creation. And that is where the shift happens. If I decide to receive that as criticism, then I have to live with believing that I've just been criticized. But if I decide to receive that as love, or a neutral statement that means nothing to me at all, then I've not just been criticized. Because it's not the words that matter. It's how I allow them to rest within my being, how I place meaning upon them, what I decide they mean in that moment. So that's the real impact of what I'm getting to here, is that we are the masters. We have the ability to change the energy of absolutely everything that comes into our experience by what we decide it means and what we decide it is. And this can take some time to get our head around, because it's a whole new concept. It's a whole new way of being. But the Elohim wanted us to know that this is the level of mastery we hold at this time. We make a decision about everything that comes into our life, everything we do. Every moment we're making decisions about what that means to us, whatever it is that is happening means to us. And so we can decide, I'm receiving this as a neutral statement. I'm receiving this as a loving statement. Regardless of what it is, if it feels like it's not generous, if it feels like it's unkind, you can just take a moment, even with your eyes open, and say, universe, transform these words into the gift of light and love that will touch me with the grace of the love of the Creator. We can do that in every moment and totally transform whatever those words were as they come into our experience. And we can do the same thing with an experience. Let's say we back into a tree and bump our fender. We can just say, I'm turning this into experience into a beautiful opportunity. There's something in this experience, there's some reason why this happened. I don't even know what it is yet, but there's going to be something beautiful and generous and kind and loving that comes from this experience. And then we can just wait for that to show up, wait for it to show itself. And it may take time for us to play with this because it is a new concept. It may take time for us to really step into it. But I just felt like I had to share it because it was so profound. Like the energy that I felt from the Elohim when this came through was very deep, very powerful. And I know it was given because it's time for us to receive it. It's time for us to know it. And so I wanted to share it with all of you as part of this pathway into our mastery, that when we hear these things, it just plants a seed. It helps us open up to what the potential is. It helps us to understand what it's like to walk more in our mastery as we're stepping into this higher dimensional way of being and moving into becoming ascended masters upon this earth. And it's an opportunity for us to begin playing with it. And the more we play with it, I'm sure the more it will anchor in more fully and become part of your experience. So I don't think I explained this very well in the beginning. I may actually go back and start again. It really started to drop in when I got to be later in the video. So I want to also be clear that it doesn't mean that we're trying to change the other person. And it doesn't mean that we're trying to clear an old belief system, which is the way that I've been working for a long time. I've been using the freedom release technique, which is all about clearing belief systems that were there and subconscious beliefs that are creating certain responses within us. This is a step up from that we are deciding in the moment what we are going to allow everything that comes into our experience to be. So we can decide that everything that comes into our experience is going to be from a place of love. And in the moment, just explore and discover how that's going to look and what it's going to be like. So if you have items in your home, that's probably an easy way to start. Or if somebody gives you something that you don't really like, or you felt like they gave it to you because they felt like they had to. Christmas, often this happens, you know, you give a gift to someone and they say, oh, I have a gift for you too, but you know that they weren't really intending on giving you a gift. They're just someone who has a few generic gifts in the house just in case this happens. So it's not given from a genuine and sincere place of wanting to give to you. It's given from a place of not wanting to receive a gift without looking like they've also given in return. So when things like that happen, we can just change the energy of that, and we can decide, using this example that I just brought up, oh, I love that this gift was given to me with so much love, with so much grace. Even though a part of us may know that was not the intention of the giver, we can put that energy into the item that was given. That's the difference. We can decide what that item means to us. And if it's something that we like and we want to have in our home, then we're going to have it from this blessing of it being there and being full of love and grace, because we put it there. And if it's something that we don't like, then we can give it away to someone else. Pardon me. It's still going to hold love and grace and the gifting to that other person. Or if we give it to charity or something like that. So this piece about creating in every moment what we are receiving is really an up-leveling in our way of experiencing this world. It's like deciding in every moment what we are receiving from the moment and what the moment means to us. And of course, there are going to be times when it's challenging and times when we're just not able to do this. This is an invitation to play with it, think about it, let it settle in, see what it means to you, see if it has any significance to you. It's definitely an upgrade in the way we can experience our lives. I know that from the energy I felt in the Elohim when it came through. So if I have a greater sense of this going forward, I'll do my best to explain it in a new way as it unfolds. It just happened a couple of days ago, so it's just something for me to start to play with as well. So thank you so much for being here. And I also want to remind you that every Tuesday night I have my Pathways to Ascension call, which is only $35 for a 2-hour Zoom call. I only bring 10 people onto the call, so everyone will have an opportunity to share what's going on in their experience. And the intent of the call is that people bring in whatever it is that they're working through, experiencing, noticing, and we just work through it all together. We work through it as a group. So things that want to be cleared, we do clearing. Things like just came forward with this other person that I was working with. There's potential for new energies to come in and come through. I use the freedom release technique and channeling and light language in these sessions. And the great thing about coming together in a group is that other people are also showing us things about ourselves that we may not even have recognized. And so we're clearing on that deep level. So I'll put a link below if you're interested in joining me. It's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And if you're someone who can't fit that time frame, please let me know. And if I have enough people interested, I'd certainly look at offering it another time every week in another time frame so that more people can have access to it. So thank you so much, my dear friends, for being here. So much love to you, and thank you to everyone who comments and subscribes. I so appreciate that support. It really means a lot to me, especially the comments. I love to know that my work is serving you in a way that really touches your heart and soul. So see you again next week.